Good afternoon, everybody. I am Sean Lardo. I am the evangelist at ConnectWise here for the economy. Thank you for tuning in today. This will be the first one we've ever done like this of a live stream. So again, thank you for those that are tuning in and watching. Today's episode, and I'm calling it an episode because we plan on doing many more of these, is all about what we have happen right around the corner here with IT Nation Secure and introducing you some of our certified integrators. So let's talk about them. We have 5 great companies on today with me. I hope you guys do take advantage of what they have to talk about today and make sure you do follow up with them even at the show because they will be there. Everybody from Alert Ops to Control Case, Clip Training, Malwarebytes, and PCmatic. Now, for those of you that haven't had a chance to that are attending Secure, make sure you've downloaded the app. This is the information. We will put this out as a leave behind in the show notes. But there's a QR code, so there's no reason why you guys can't download the app. Be sure to follow the steps and then make sure you plan out your week. Make sure you take advantage of everything that we have to offer next week. Now, as far as our speakers for today are concerned, you probably have seen, if you've been around the space long enough, you've seen a lot of these guys from Cam to Kim to Peter to Fran and Corey Munson. These guys have all been around. They are a lot of the shows. So again, want to make sure we highlight their faces so you can find them in the crowd next week. If you're looking to find out more about the company themselves, we provide QR codes for each and every one of the companies. That will take you right into the ConnectWise marketplace, and you'll be able to see exactly what you want to talk about with them and also reach out, do a form fill, become a lead, and learn more about the companies themselves. So we do strongly encourage you to do so. The real good thing about doing something like this, though, for you all, the vendors, or the partners rather, is that each one of these vendors have graciously offered a promotion. If you are going to be, even if you're not going to be at IT Nation Secure, just for tuning in, if you use the promo code ITN Secure 23, you will get, and they're listed here, what they're willing to give you as far as a promo is concerned. So please, I do strongly suggest that you look into them and take advantage of any kind of promotions that they do offer. Now, if you do have any, you can follow me again, Sean Lardo. That's my LinkedIn profile link. Feel free to follow me if you want to. Connect with me. I'll be around at Secure next week as well. However, if you have any questions about anything that we talk about today or any of the vendors or how they become certified integrators, you can reach out to invent@connectwise.com. Now, without further ado, I do want to bring on our first guest, and that is actually my good friend Cam from Alert Ops. And we can stop sharing this screen. Hi, Jess. You're on here live, by the way.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Now she's off. Everybody, that was Jess Kane. She is the one that makes this all possible. So, hey, Cam, you're muted, so you may want to unmute yourself to get started.
All right. There we go.
Good. Hey, how you doing today, man?
I am doing good. I clearly need the same photographer you have because apparently you look good in every photo you take.
Well, we use a lot of filters, you know.
Yeah.
I can look younger. So for those of you that don't know, Cam and Alert Ops, they actually, and I'm gonna highlight you right now, Cam and Alert Ops, they won the picture competition, which is my baby here last year. They were the actual first place winner of everything. So congrats again, Cam, and thank you for being part of this.
No, thank you for having us on.
Absolutely. So let's talk about let's talk about you first. Who are you? What do you do there, Cam?
So I'm the head of customer experience. Really, I am more of a product guy, right? Integration partnerships, right? I love to find processes that need improvement and try to build a technical solution to automate it.
Awesome. So, and how long have you been at the business, at the company for?
At Alert Ops, 4.5 years, pretty much since the inception.
That's my next question is when was the inception?
Yeah, 2019.
Nice. and you guys didn't start out in the MSP space.
No, actually, we initially were in the enterprise space. And at a certain point, we saw a natural influx of customers that couldn't find an on-call solution that worked for them. And there's probably maybe outside of us, 2 others that exist in the MSP space. And realistically, it's more of a tool that has been adulterated to fit the use cases that exist, right? So we decided, all right, well, let's go ahead and help MSPs.
And so far, you guys have had a great success doing that.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that from our background, we come from a service background. The notion of that really resonates with managed service providers, TSPs, MSPs, etc.
I would totally agree. Let's dig into that for a second. Service provider, the majority of our space, what they're called MSPs or service providers, but the reality is the cornerstone of this industry is their ability to be good service providers, right? That they're always on point. So how impactful is what you guys provide to them being able to do their core mission?
It it's critical, right?
Mhm.
It truly relies on the fact that a service provider wants to provide once again the best service. In the case that you have a critical incident, in the case that you have any after hour support, being able to not only meet but break your SLAs is what we enable service providers to do.
Right, absolutely. Well, okay, SLAs. What a great! You're doing so well with this. You're giving me layups. So, um, your product. One thing about help desks, expedition is key, right? To be able to expedite resolution. So, how do you impact that?
So on a whole, right, as far as our customers are concerned, 30% reduction in MTTA, mean time to acknowledgement, right? That means that a technician has been assigned to a service request in 30% less time. And as little as that sounds, as soon as you have 4 offline servers, that makes a substantial impact on a business.
Right. So, okay, now enough MSPs are watching this and they're going to say, yes, I understand that. But how do you make this possibly happen? Because again, these guys have been in business for a long time. They've tried everything to streamline their process, to automate their process, to do everything. So how do you make this possible?
So I hate saying this, and I love saying this, but our product is open, right? When everyone loves to talk about the concept of no code and open APIs, but we made it happen. And the fact of the matter is, we talk about a process and we implement the most efficient solution because we're capable of interacting and integrating with virtually every single tool in their ecosystem. Whether they have the capacity to send webhooks or not, we have an open API. We can take every single webhook payload, but on top of that, anything that can send an email, all of a sudden, you're capable of building a process around it, right? As a byproduct of AlertOps.
Absolutely. So, okay, you'll be at Secure next week. And obviously, most of the people that are attending are ConnectWise customers. And one of the biggest challenges that we have in the space is that single pane of glass, keeping everything within one area, right? And you have people working on a total different. You ultimately you want people to work wherever they're comfortable in an environment, but you also want to be able to have the ability to have transparency and easy documentation. So tell me, how does this work with you and your relationship with ConnectWise?
So once again, right, we're an partner, and we're very, very familiar with ConnectWise's APIs, the product, etc. And as far as our integration with Manage, we have an out-of-the-box solution. And at the same time, I told you that we come from a service background. So every single customer that is onboarded receives a level of treatment as well as a level of consultation that caters our solution along with ConnectWise, two separate tools, but one solution in a way that really works for their business.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. And again, we'll come back to the documentation piece, right? And documenting everything. How easy is it for as far as the integration is concerned? If I want to work out of, ConnectWise and not go to your product, do I have to go to your product?
No,
No.
not at all.
So I can create information within one, and it's a bi-directional sync for everything.
Exactly. Right. So you set it up once and then you're done. But the second that an SLA is breached, you're going to get a text message. You might get 15 phone calls, depending on what your service desk admin has told you you're going to do.
Right. Okay. So what about the evenings when I don't want to answer calls anymore because I'm sick of this?
Well, in the case that you're sick of it, it sucks, but you're on call. Alternatively, we promote a healthier lifestyle, right? It's a substantial boost for service desk technicians to not have to stare at a laptop screen and be able to go to their kid's soccer game, right? Be able to enjoy life and not worry about the fact that they're on call until an issue truly arises.
So it sounds like you're actually providing the ability for me to improve my performance, increase velocity on resolving and having resolution, making customers happier, and if I can, I actually get some of my life back, or invest more time into my running my business the right way.
100%. Sean, can I take that and put it on our website?
Yeah, you can just make sure you. I always wanted to be quoted somewhere, so just quote me on that. And so, what booth will you guys be at Secure?
Booth number 5. And if you've not seen it, you have to check out Eric Meyer's post about Table 5 on LinkedIn. It is a Simpsons oriented post, and I love it. And I am certain most people will too.
I love it. So, and you guys are, for promotion, you're going to be well, you're giving away a t-shirt, which is a pretty cool t-shirt. I like your t-shirt. We'll just leave it at that. And receive 2 months off of 1 year's subscription, right?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. All right, man. That's all I have for you. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you in just a few days. Seriously.
Absolutely.
All right, great. We're going to bring up next Kim Simon. Kim from Control Case. She is a good friend of mine also. It's amazing we spent so much time together. How are you, Kim?
I know. Good to see you. How are you?
I'm great. Last time we were together, we were recording for your stuff.
I know. We had such a fun time, and the blooper reels were so popular.
They you know what? I think you should attach those on this at some point for people to see, because, yes, we look really polished right now to a degree, but then I realize how much happens prior to
in the background.
Yes, or during, that have to be removed or adjusted for at least a very good communication, some sort of great messaging. So, but I appreciate you being on. Thank you.
No, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you guys have been around here for a little while. How long have you been in business for?
Control Case has been in business since 2004, so 19 years. We're not new to this space by any means. We provide cybersecurity audit for a lot of the frameworks that are globally recognized.
Absolutely. And okay, and your role there is?
So I manage our alliances and strategic partnerships. So I say the MSPs are my babies, because I kind of manage all of that, making sure MSPs have all the information that they need around getting themselves compliant, and then obviously getting their clients certified to a cybersecurity framework as well.
Perfect. And so let's talk about what you guys do as a whole. Like, what is the value add of your business?
So think of it, and I know you and I were talking about this today. Think of it when you go to your favorite restaurant. So when you go to your favorite restaurant, there's certain things that you just expect that they're doing. So you expect they have policies and they have processes around making sure that your food is prepared properly. There's cleanliness. Nobody's going to spit in my food and all of that good stuff. There's things that I've never really asked them, but I expect that they're being done. I expect that when I pay for my food with my credit card, they have processes in place to protect my data. So in the same way, your clients have expectations of you as an MSP. They have expectations that you have an active cybersecurity program, that you've had a third party come in there and really look at it and make sure that it's active, it is good, and there's no gaps. And that's the value of what Control Case does. We are that third set of eyes that comes in and looks at your cybersecurity program against a cybersecurity framework. So we help you choose a framework, and we help your clients choose a framework as well. That you want to get compliant to. It's an industry recognized framework, globally recognized, helps you attract clients, lower your risk, all that fun stuff. But the idea is now you've got someone coming in and looking at it, and then showing you where there's gaps, helping you with remediation and all of that good stuff.
Awesome. So you said something that really we should dig into a minute. We help your clients too. So, okay, in some cases, vendors work only with MSPs. Are you saying you also work with their end users too?
Yes. So your clients, it's the MSP, the clients are having the same conversations with their clients. So they're being asked, hey, do you have a SOC 2 compliance? Do you have ISO? Do you have NIST, CMMC? So their clients are going through the same thing. Hey, we need a third party to come and look at our cybersecurity program and tell us if we're compliant to CMMC, identify any gaps that we may have. So they're having those same conversations that the MSP is having with their clients.
Yep.
So that's why MSPs have loved us in the network, really. So it's been getting the MSP certified, but then also helping them deliver audits to their clients. So we do the audit, and then in us doing the audit, we empower the MSP to sell more of the security services that they sell through ConnectWise anyway. So if you think about it, I'll give you an example. So I have low iron, always have had low iron. So I get really tired when my iron is low. And I have a friend of mine who always checks on me. Anna always says, hey, Kim, how are you doing with your iron? Are you remembering to take your iron supplements? And I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. And I don't care when she says it because it's just Anna. And then and then when I go to the doctors and I go, hey, I'm not feeling very well. And he says, yeah, your iron is really low. We need to up your iron. Then I'm like, okay, tell me what do I need to buy? Where do I need to go? In the same way, MSPs are selling security services, your risk assessments, your vulnerability management, MFA, EDR, MDR. You're selling all these services, but your client is like, oh, here we go, another invoice. Oh, here we go, another invoice. When you bring in an auditor, we come in and say, hey, we're completely impartial. We're just saying we've identified a gap and you need to fix it. Now we're selling for you. So we sell for the MSP when we're doing the audit because we're empowering them to actually sell the security services that they sell anyway.
Absolutely. Okay, good. And so, and that takes my next question is, how are you making the money?
We're making them way too much money. Actually,
that's the best answer. I now want to go sell. I now want to be an MSP and sell cybersecurity. So go.
We're making them so much money that if you come to our booth at IT Nation, we're giving away money.
I'm coming to the booth like every day, several times a day.
At this rate, I might not show up. Like, where's the money?
And that, I mean, so you heard it here first. That Control Case is giving away money at the booth.
Yes, we're giving away cash.
I'm going to be there. So if everybody shows up, I'm taking $1 of the cash that you guys get. I will be there all day hanging out.
Oh, we have so many dollars. Show up. So how are we making MSPs money? In two ways. First, we're empowering them. So we're lowering their risk and giving them a cybersecurity certification or attestation of compliance, right? So that gives them competitive advantage. If you think of wanting to attract more clients and retain the clients that you already have, what better way to actually do that than to show that you care about security, so much so that you've had an audit done, you've got a certificate to prove it. So that's the first part. We'll allow you to attract and retain more clients and obviously lower your risk because that's why you're doing it. Mm-hmm. And then the second thing is in you offering the audit to your clients. When you now use us as the auditor on record, so you're now offering audit to your clients and saying, hey, Control Case is going to come in and do a CMMC audit, or they're going to do a NIST or SOC 2, ISO, whatever it is. So Control Case comes in and does the audit. And then what happens is the MSP now really upsells their cybersecurity services that they sell anyway. So because those things need to be done as part of the audit, but you've been struggling to basically get your clients to sign up for everything that they need because they're just hearing it from you and it's just another sales pitch. But when they hear it from the auditor that Control Case is not the one that takes that money, we're just telling you have a gap here and you have an MSP that's willing to help you like close that gap. So why don't we do that? So that's how we're making money for MSPs.
That's fantastic. Okay, so you're giving them credibility and authority by certifying them, and then also coming as a third party, an auditor of sorts, like you said, coming in and audit what they're doing, and then saying, "Hey, you need this," and they're going to provide it.
Oh my goodness, you just did that to Alert Ops. We're taking that, we're putting that on our website.
Again, quote.
You're pretty good.
I'm okay. Really good. There's certain things I'm okay with. This is one of them. Everything else, not so much. That staring aimlessly into the street, basically. But anyway, yes. All right. So what booth will you guys be at?
We are at booth 106, so you definitely want to be there. As I said, we have cash. We're actually giving away money because we have so much of it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I'll take it. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we get you off of here?
Yeah, so I'm also speaking on Tuesday.
Oh,
I'm doing a breakout on how MSPs can drive revenue growth with compliance. So if you are around on Tuesday at 4 p.m., please come to my session. We have a raffle going on in that session as well. We'll be giving away my
Money?
book.
Oh.
We'll be giving away some more money because we have so much of it. So yeah, please join me on Tuesday. I'm speaking at 4 p.m.
It's perfect. I think, hold on, there might be a question here. Let me see. I'm not looking at the chat. Oh, okay. There you go. Paolo, I'm interested in learn more about cybersecurity. Do you make some trainings online for the customer protection?
Yes, we can help with that. We have some cybersecurity awareness training that you can take. We actually have a free one audit training that kind of looks at the 4 main frameworks. So HIPAA, PCI, ISO, and SOC 2. That's a free training that you can start taking right now and share with everybody, kind of showing you what's involved in getting compliant with all these frameworks. So yes, get my details and we'll be happy to help.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, make sure if you're going to the show, download the app. If you're not, unfortunately, you want to access the app, but you do have the QR codes that are in the presentation that I put out first, and it will be shared to all. You guys can find it. Oh, Amresh has given his phone number out down below, so he wants to call him. You can call him. All right. So, Kim, thank you for taking the time. Looking forward to seeing you next week. If anybody wants to get a hold of Kimberly Simon from Control Case, you can find her everywhere. Actually, she is like everywhere.
Oh, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Up next, thank you very much. I'll see you next week. And up next is Peter Bruzzese. So can we get Peter Bruzzese up here? What's up, dude?
Greetings.
This is the better hair part of the segment for everybody with good good hair. It's funny because I was going through your name when we were talking about getting everything ready yesterday, and Jess Tavares like, hey, let's make sure we break up his name so you know how to say it the right way. So she literally wrote Bruise Easy. And I was like, I got it. I wasn't, it's Italian. I got it.
It's Italian. Yep.
Italian. Exactly. So, and then she actually gave me she even put it as a sentence, like if you punch me, I bruise easy.
I gave her that. So she didn't just come up with that. I gave her that because I've lived with this name my whole life. So people my whole life have never said the name. The funny thing is in Italy, they don't say it like that. They say Bruzzese or Abruzzese. It's the family background, but you did great.
Jess, I was giving you credit, Jess. You're no longer, you get no credit now.
Credit's taken. Yeah.
It's gone. Just as quick as it was given, as quick as it was removed. So let's talk about you, man. What do you do?
So I am the Chief Content Officer for Clip Training, and one of the co-founders as well. So, we built Clip Training years ago when I was in my 20s. I worked for Goldman Sachs in Manhattan, and I worked in their document processing department. And from there, I kind of moved into other things. I went into IT. I became a Microsoft MVP, 8-time awarded. I've written over a dozen books, primarily around IT subjects. But my training back at Goldman Sachs was interesting because it was all about the end users. And so when we looked to form a business, the focus was how can we help end users? There's a lot of training content and other things out there to support other users, but how do we help the end user to do what they need to do every day, especially in a world where things are constantly changing, M365, cybersecurity,
Sure.
things like that. So, yep, I'm responsible for content for Clip Training.
So first off, that's impressive. I want to dig into now, how long has Clip Training been around for now?
Well, it's been around for a while, mainly focused on the MSP space. However, for just about 3 years, we narrowed in. But I'd say we've been around since about 2007, I think was when we first launched.
And in 3 years, predominantly in MSP space.
Yep.
Nice. How's it treating you so far?
So far, really great. Especially this space, because in the past we focused on customers and even individuals providing what they needed. But we found that there was an underserved MSP community that really could use tools that would help them to add stickiness and genuine value into their portfolio. And the thing is that we feel that we provide a platform that does just that.
Okay, perfect. So, let's talk about what does your platform actually do?
So to make it simple, if you think about solutions out there, enterprise grade solutions that companies might invest in, you have things like LinkedIn or Udemy. You have things like
Mhm.
KnowBe4. You have, you might have an LMS solution like SumTotal. You might have a solution that does compliance policy tracking and management. The dilemma there is that each of these is a cost, right? And when you're an MSP and you're trying to provide solutions, you don't necessarily think that some of your customers, they may not be able to afford all of those different solutions. And so what we've done is we've created an all-in-one scenario where you have a platform where you can deliver high quality solutions that involve training, M365 training and so forth, or policy attestation, or an LMS of sorts where you could put your own content in. And as an LMS, you can now push those services down to all of your customers. And the real exciting thing is, whereas any one of those solutions that those named solutions, might cost a certain amount, we are at a fraction of even one of them in terms of cost. So it becomes prohibitive when the costs now outpace what your customers can do. So what do? They just don't have those solutions.
Mhm.
Instead, as an MSP, you can provide all of those solutions either at a low cost to your customers, or you can add it in as a value add to your services and right size your own costs that you're charging to your customers. It creates just an invaluable level of stickiness, because now not just the IT folks or HR, whoever you're working with, but now all the way down to the end user, they see your name and logo and color scheme with everything that they do, because you're providing all of that training and other things into their world. So yeah, it's been a great it was a great shift on our part to move towards the MSP space, and we see that we're providing real value to our partners.
Sure. So, well, let's unpack a couple of things you said there. First, LMS is a dirty word. I swear it is, because you're right. They're cumbersome at some point. I mean, really, you could just use SharePoint and call it a LMS if you really wanted to, right? I spent a lot of time in the space doing channel enablement with people, so LMS was always a big topic. So, starting with the LMS piece, what's what is the difference between an LMS that we know of traditionally for larger organizations, and then also compare it to a knowledge base provided, and then you guys, because I see it
Right.
being you being both essentially.
So a lot of LMSs, they come first of all empty, they're blank, right?
Hmm.
And so now you have to come up with content to put into that LMS. So in our case, we provide a knowledge streaming solution. It's not a traditional LMS. It's a streaming solution where you can attach to videos that you might be hosting on, Vimeo, YouTube. Maybe they're not your videos, maybe they're someone else's videos. Azure Media Services, wherever you can get an embed code, you could pop that into our system, and immediately as an MSP, you can distribute that out to all your customers. Not just videos, but also documents, whether it's a PowerPoint or. So think about it this way: you're an MSP, you provide value to all these customers from a security perspective. Something has recently come out, some scary thing has happened, and you want to make everyone aware. You want to give everyone that knowledge. By having this platform in place, you can easily share out a document, whether it's a Word document, PDF, it doesn't matter. You could share out a video. Maybe someone has created something online already. You can drop it in and you can share it down to all your customers immediately. You can push it out. And the value of that is now you're educating, you're making sure that all of these users are educated about this latest security threat before it's even hit them. And so there's value to that. That's not an LMS. An LMS is just, a lot of times it becomes a dumping ground for all sorts of knowledge
Hmm.
and content, and it's pretty ugly and it actually intimidates users. We actually created our platform. We pulled in a guy who worked for in Disney's e-learning department for over a decade, and we said, yes, this is what we need. We need the end user to feel happy, like they're going into Disney World. Make it
Right.
colorful and fun and big buttons, and so we've made it where it's modern, it looks great, but it's controlled. And it doesn't become just that dumping grounds like a SharePoint, document, workplace.
All
Um,
those, yes,
yeah,
they're
no.
all.
So
Can we go back real quick to your big buttons and everything else? So like a made to order screen would be the similar thing, or like, what I mean, that's what I think of right away. And with that, because they always have big buttons on made to order screens, right?
right.
And it's an image. Do you want a burger? Do you want fries? Do you want tater tots? You know what you're getting to. Now the question is, you might mention distribution, and you also mentioned their logo. So they're white labeling this.
White labeled, yeah, completely. We don't need your customers to know our name. We don't sell to customers. We sell only to MSP partners. So ultimately, we're not really worried about them knowing who we are. Even the training content. That's the other thing. Our platform comes with thousands of videos that focus on Windows, Office, M365, and especially for security, you want to think about cybersecurity awareness. Our platform includes things like learning paths and drip campaigns and gamification, and so that the end user gets all the bells and whistles and goodness that you need to drive them. Maybe you want to drive them organically and you want to incentivize. In other cases, you might want to mandate. A lot of times it just depends on where you're from. If you're in like these, New England, Manhattan-based companies, you mandate. If you're in California, you incentivize, right? So
Right.
we provide all those tools, and that allows you to then get all of that training into their world. But again, as the MSP, you're providing all of this. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet. It's not like these one-off things where now you have to pay for each new course. As we release new content, it just gets added into the library. You can just distribute that out to everyone, and that's the beauty of this, is that it's all just right at their fingertips. So it's all white labeled. You put your logo, your color scheme, and in the end, right down to the end user, they know your name, right? When they're watching these things, your
Mhm.
name is front and center, not ours.
Perfect. Okay, so distribution of it also. Do they have access? Do the end users have access to a portal then that they can go onto? Or
Yes,
then all
everyone
mixed
gets
up,
a
or
portal. They can
okay.
go in through a browser. There you have a Teams app, they can go in through Teams. The experience is exactly the same. The beauty of this is that, a lot of times MSPs, they might think, wow, this is going to be a lot for distribution. I'm going to have to do a lot here. We take care of the distribution for you. We take care of connecting up your customers, and we help you with our support services. We have legendary customer support. We help to connect them in. We have an M365 sync solution, so it syncs the users right in. It's a 6-click Teams app integration. So, and we help you to do all of that. We don't want you worried about the deployment of this because you're already overwhelmed probably with your own
Sure.
services. The key about getting it deployed into all of your customers, and that's the other thing, it's one price that ultimately covers all your customers. It's as many customers as you'd like. And the key with this is, because you want, as an MSP, to provide services on the back end, whether it's using our compliance attestation tool called Policy Manager, or providing cybersecurity training, which we have over 15 hours of cybersecurity awareness and vigilance and so forth. With all of that, you want all of those users in the platform. So
Absolutely.
the key then is to deploy it. How do you do that without it taking time? That's where we come in. We help to deploy this because we want all your users in the platform too. So again, it's not going to be an added stress. It's only going to be more value and more stickiness for you at a price point that it's just makes sense.
Gotcha. I have another question on this then. So from the way you're speaking, this is a multi-tenant platform.
Yes.
So,
Every
the
customer
MSP,
gets their own portal,
but
their
the
own
MSP
separate
only has
portal.
one, is what I'm saying. They have
Yes, the
one,
MSP has one.
and then they segment based off of the customers, and then permission-based delivery on trainings.
Yes. And
Okay.
so we typically recommend that they just give them the all-you-can-eat buffet. But the
Right.
nice thing is they can go in, and let's say you have an organization that they're not using something, so you can turn on and off courses at will.
Yep.
And then ultimately you can have each of your customers, have their own portals, and the customer also has the ability to put their own training in. So they might be a little more proactive and say, we have some content, we have some video content or PowerPoints or whatever, but we want to put that into our platform where no one else can see it, just us as a customer. Yep, you can do that. No additional charge from us. And that's the thing. What you charge as an MSP, that's on you. But we don't charge anything additional for all of these features. It's one price, and we ultimately give you the platform, give you the support, and how you manage it, sell it, give it away, totally up to you.
That's amazing. I think the things that stand out to me right off the bat is that training, onboarding, and everything else is all very hard to do, right? And we know, and just from Kim talking about cybersecurity, I was a sales guy for many years, so I was probably the biggest culprit of hacks, because I would click on any link that came to me. Oh, this looks great, watch these elephants juggling. It's amazing, right? And so, but the problem comes into play is you can have all the technologies in the world, but if you don't develop and train the people, the users, what to do, the right things, which is what you're offering, the ability to the vessel to deliver this, I think that's a very complimentary thing.
Thank you. Yeah, well, and the other thing is, I mentioned some other solutions. There are a lot of solutions out there right now in a cybersecurity world for training that include what we call punishment training, right? So you get an email, a phishing attack simulation, and you click the link, and anyone can click that link. That's the whole point of those companies, is to create it so that it looks so real, you're going to click the link. So everyone from the CEO all the way to the IT department, someone's going to click the link.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get hit with training. And okay, that's a valid form of moving the needle on getting people not to click links, and giving people PTSD when it comes to getting emails. But so ultimately, that's what we call punishment training. We believe in a different model. We believe in reinforcement training. What if we just assume everyone's going to click the link? What if
Yep.
we just give them a drip campaign where once a week, twice a week, whatever your cadence is, they get a training video that shows them something about ransomware or social engineering or something that gets them to think about not clicking the email link, because 90% of all threats start with an email phish, right? So if that's your biggest concern, focus on that and make it a reinforcement training, not a punishment training, right?
Right.
And although I wouldn't say the other format doesn't work, I'm sure it does, and there's statistics that show that it does. But we tend to prefer for people to like watching our training, not hate when they see the video and say,
Agreed.
like there's another training, I messed up again. No, so ours is meant to make people feel good when they're learning and do it at their pace and do it in a way that, they walk away liking your brand at the end, not necessarily cursing you. So
I totally appreciate that. The fact that, and we'll wrap this up too, because I got to jump on the next one. But you're enabling MSPs to be effective and efficient with ongoing support, training, development, and everything from one place, making it effective for them to be in one portal and be multi-tenant, so they can be efficient, which I totally love. And you're tackling a big obstacle, which is the ability to give small digestible bites on actual developing somebody, as opposed to an entire university that you go into and you're lost.
Right. We're going to quote you as well. So we want folks to come by our booth. We're booth 117. We are not giving away money. We are giving away these little sharks, right? So
I'll take it.
these are great squeezy things, better than the round ones because they got little knobby things that'll help with your hands and such. But we are doing that discount of it's $3,000 off, and that's about a third of the price. So for those who come and
Awesome.
want to talk, we'd love to see you at the booth.
See, now my video. Look at my video. See, you look good and I don't. Don't know what happened.
What happened there?
Well, actually, I probably look better now with it being fuzzy. Let's be honest. Let's see if I can
you
fix
look
that.
great.
So, blurry. I look great. It's at the end
It's
of
a
the night.
filter.
That's my filter. It is. All right, Peter. Thank you so much, man. You'll be at booth
117.
Yes. Yep. So for all you that do come to Secure, booth 117. Look, we can all take pictures together, like the Fall Locally Challenge Italian brothers. With anybody that wants to be involved, I'll be there with you.
Sounds great.
Thanks, dude. I'll see you in a few days.
All right.
We got up next, Fran. What's up, dude?
Hey, Sean. How are you? What's going on?
I feel like, the accent, obviously, we know that you're obviously from the Midwest of the U.S.
That's it. I probably drink the same amount, but I'm from Dublin, Ireland. So yeah, I'm on a bit late in the evening for me.
I feel like you should have a tattoo on your chest of an eagle, and you should be in the cage fighting people.
Well, yeah, a lot of people would compare me to that man. I wish I had that money. But
right. I'm like, we should start drinking Proper 12 right now, and endorse your product.
We should, and that's exactly where I'm from as well. I'm from Dublin 12, where Proper 12 was born. But unfortunately, I just have the accent. I don't have the money or the fighting style either. So,
that makes all of us right now on this video. So perfect. So how are you doing today, man? So you're in Ireland now.
I'm in Ireland now. Unfortunately, I won't be attending the event next week. I'm just here on behalf of the good guys at Malwarebytes that are attending. So I'm basically promoting for them. So you'll have Brian, Kevin, Andrew, and Mike there with you next week. Fortunately, you won't have an Irishman. So I'm actually going to send them to Control Case to get some cash for me and send it this way. So, I can't wait for that.
So tell me what you do. What is your role there?
I'm a sales engineer here at Malwarebytes. I'm actually only coming up on my first year with Malwarebytes. Nice. So yeah, I'm pretty junior to Malwarebytes, but I have about 10 years cybersecurity experience, being a threat research analyst as well in the industry. So I've spent a lot of time, protecting customers, doing a lot of research on behalf of customers, being quoted in reports and things like that. So yeah, I have a lot of industry knowledge to help out the Malwarebytes customers.
Nice. Good. Okay. So let's talk about Malwarebytes. What do they do?
Yeah, Malwarebytes are a cybersecurity company. So we provide protection for our customers. Founded formally in 2008, informally in 2004. So if anyone doesn't know the story of Malwarebytes, I definitely recommend going online, checking it out. It's a great story of a teenager infecting the family machine at home and then founding a business off the back of it. So it's a great story. It's really, really good, and it kind of feels good to work here as well, knowing that that's where the company actually started from. Someone who just wanted to, help themselves and then helped everyone out in the process of doing that.
That is, I love that. I love the fact that's the story behind it, because I feel like you usually start a business or you solve a problem because there's a problem you uniquely have, you think, and you have to
Yeah.
fix it, and then you realize everybody else has the same problem. So I love that part.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And the kind of evolution of Malwarebits, a lot of people would know it from that kind of consumer days of getting infected at home and trying to solve that issue. And then when you actually look at the evolution, we've gone into the SMB market. We're protecting a lot of customers on behalf of MSPs. So there's a lot of kind of evolution there, and you can see it every year. Something changes here. So I'm
Sure.
only a year here, and since the day I started, new products have come out. The console has changed. We're just completely evolving into this kind of unique beast of the cybersecurity industry,
I
and,
love that.
and it's great to see. It's great to be part of that as well.
Yeah, no, and he was probably downloading like songs from LimeWire if it was
Oh, yeah.
2004 officially, and that was
We've
because I
all
know
been there.
I mean, we all did it. So chances are that's exactly what he did, and that's what I did, and so
Yeah.
yeah, and Lord knows what came on from there.
That's it. That's it. Well, what we know that he created a great business out of it, and I'm sure made a lot of profit out of that one big mistake. So it's absolutely fantastic
Yeah, he
mistake to
should.
make.
Yeah, he should be doing proper 12 also then. But anyway, so okay, so obviously where it began and where it is now, what's the difference in the business now from then to now?
Oh, it's huge. Going from that, as I said, that consumer product into this layered security beast. So we
Mhm.
have, our incident response all the way to our MDR product. Everything in between, being an endpoint
Mhm.
protection, EDR as well in there, and then we have our add-ons. So helping people, get compliance, get fully protected, utilizing just that one pane of glass. So the OneView console, for instance, is a multi-tenant, multi-product console. So you're
Mhm.
managing so many different products within one console. You don't have to get invoices from here, there, and everywhere. And then with a fantastic integration with ConnectWise as well, we, as I said, we became this beast of the MSP space, and
Mhm.
it's shown with our customers. Every customer that trials the product or uses the product, they come off a little bit happier. With what they're doing, they find things easy to use. So everything we do is to make sure that the customers find it as simple as possible. So if you have no qualifications in cybersecurity, if you're literally just there to manage your customers, you're an MSP, you're managing your customers, but you want minimal, impact. You don't want to go learning how to threat research, things like that.
Mhm.
You can utilize this console to its full potential, being that person. Or if you're somebody who's so technical, has masters in computer science, all of this, you can go in and utilize this console to a different way of that person, where you can utilize the API integrations, things like that. It's one of those consoles that I believe is one of those kind of perfect storms of teaching you how to use something or letting you do whatever you need to do with it. It's really fantastic to see how it's evolved, as I said, over that last year with the console and the products themselves.
That's awesome. And so, I want to unpack something real quick here. You mentioned multiple layers of what people do in service delivery, right?
Yes.
Are Do you guys own all those specific things that you're using, or are you guys working with partner up with other companies that provide this and hosting some of it?
Yeah, there's some depending on the products themselves, like our
Mhm.
DNS product. We partner with Cloudflare for that product.
Mhm.
There's certain ones that would be, and then there's certain other parts that are built in house that we would do, ourselves. So it just depends on the type of product. But we're happy to divulge all that information to anybody that needs it. If they come to us, and want to know the full details of drilling down of those products,
Sure.
we run through that with every customer and are happy to do so. But as I said about that layered security, it's extremely important in the cybersecurity industry that you have a layered security. And
Mhm.
and a lot of people, view a layered security as just that one layer. They think because there's so many, EDR products out there, endpoint protection products out there, we have a lot of customers who will, go purchase 2 or 3 of the same thing and put them all side by side. And they
Mhm.
think, having the tree, somebody's bound to catch it. But unfortunately, that's not how layered security works. What we need to do is we need to treat security as like a cake. You
Mhm.
stack up. If you had one big flat cake, you wouldn't be too happy. It's only a small amount of cake to eat. You want that big, thick slice of cake. So, having that, EDR
Yep.
protection, then you have maybe a DNS protection, maybe a vulnerability assessment, patch management there as well. And it's all stacking up. And meaning if somebody does attack you, they can't get down. You're
Sure.
taking basically weight off every product. They can't get down into the bottom level. We look at it like Space Invaders. You have your 4 arches in Space Invaders
Yep.
before the little aliens can come down and get you. And that's how I view everything. And we like to educate our customers, on the right things to do. And
Awesome.
it's anyone I speak to, if you meet me at an event, I'll promote Malwarebytes. As you can see, I wear the T-shirt. I love the products, but I'll also educate you in what way to look within the industry as well. And that's the great thing about the guys at Malwarebytes. You'll meet a few at the event, and they will do the exact same thing. It's all about education and helping our customers,
I
get to the
appreciate
right
that.
place.
You're in a space with cybersecurity that is it's still the Wild West in a way, because there's
Of
still so many.
course.
So I think you come as an educator first. Talk about the product second. First, people need to understand that actually, our CISO Patrick Beggs and myself, we're actually doing a session at Secure about how he does a gap assessment on what he needs for technologies for a cybersecurity stack to support
Yeah.
what we do internally. So I suggest everybody come watch that, because he's the CISO of ConnectWise. He understands what he's doing. So we're going to talk about
Of
that,
course.
and then talk about the companies like you guys that are part of the marketplace that actually provide these tools. Because it's not just one. We know that you mentioned the layers, which is spot on. There's at least 6 to 7 or maybe even 8 categories to fill in these layers. So I totally appreciate that.
Yeah, that's it. A lot of people don't know where, like, you get companies who have a budget. They get a
Mhm.
budget assigned every year for security,
Yep.
and they don't know where to go
No,
and put it at.
like
And
you said,
most
they buy
people will go,
multiple. You buy the same thing 3 times, and that's not going to be the case. And
exactly, and they will, throw it at the next thing that has the big buzzword. And especially when you don't know what you're buying and managing it as well, if people have a hard time. That's one of the reasons why we have MDR as well. So to
Yep.
take that weight off the user, you come and you get your protection. Let our SOC team manage it for you. So that's a little bit of weight off. The customer's getting as much protection as possible, and we get to protect them and give them a great experience. But as you said, it is about that education first. They need to know where to go. And as you said, that talk would be great to see. I wish I was there to see it myself,
don't
because
worry,
it
I'll
is
send you
really
I'll
about,
send you the deck. Don't worry, you can look at
exactly,
that.
send that over and
That'll
I'll
probably read better than we can speak. So perfect.
that's it.
We got to get
That's
ready. We got to get moving on from you now. But
yeah.
Malwarebytes will be at booth 422.
422. We have a Nintendo Switch available there to win. So pop over, have a chat with the lads, and I'm sure everyone will be happy to talk to the attendees.
Absolutely. All right, Fran. Thanks, man.
Brilliant.
Enjoy your holiday. It's happy hour for you. I won't keep any longer. Thanks, dude.
It is indeed. Thanks, guys. Have a good
All
one.
right. Up next, we have Corey Munson. So if we can bring him on. All right. What's up, Corey? How you doing, dude?
Hey, Sean. Good to see you.
Is it like saving the best for last?
I'm the headliner, right? Is that what the deal is? But let's get something straight. It's not Proper 12. It's Jameson's, right? I mean,
well, it's actually, yeah, no, but Proper 12 is pretty good, man. I'm just saying, and the fact that one of the greatest UFC fighters in history backs it, I can't tell him he's wrong.
True.
I would lose that fight.
I can say I never tried it. Always been a big Jameson's fan. Haven't heard positive things about Proper 12, but
it's not bad. But okay. I've even had the Jameson Stout and everything else, which I thought was pretty good. But Proper 12, it wasn't bad. I've had it, not bad. I'm more of a Scotch guy, really, and
got it.
And definitely a bourbon. Tell you right now, our CEO Jason McGee turned me on to Angel's Envy rum cask, because I'm okay with bourbon, but the rum, oh my lord, so everybody going to Secure. Remember, Angel's Envy rum cask. Find me if you have it. Bring it to me, please. Anyway,
Sounds
enough about that. So let's talk a little about you, man. What do you do? What do you do there at PCmatic?
Sure. I'm vice president of sales. I cover most of our channel partner relationships, and I guess I'm kind of playing to the audience by saying the MSPs are typically my favorite channel partners to work with. But been here for 17 years now. The company's been around for 25, but wear a lot of hats. But channel partnerships are really my wheelhouse.
Awesome. So okay, so sales. You talk about working with them. So are you guys selling to, through, or how do you guys operate?
Sure. So on the B2B side of things, and we still have a very, very large consumer presence that most people know PCmatic tied to, but the fastest growing segment of what we're doing is the B2B side. And we're doing that exclusively through the channel, through our reseller partners and our MSPs. Our deepest history in the channel is our MSP relationships.
Perfect. So let's talk about what does PCmatic actually do?
Sure. So we are the masters of application allow listing. We were doing application allow listing before it was sexy. And we're now proudly able to say we offer the most efficient, most effective, most profitable way for MSPs to be able to deploy and manage allow listing at scale.
That's okay. So now that you brought sexy back, let's talk.
That's nice. I like the way you worked that in there, Sean.
I like that you actually follow with, oh yeah. So let's talk about this. How do you actually work with the MSPs to actually do all this?
Sure. So we like to take a deep dive into our MSP relationships, but one is to arm them with the fact that application control as a fundamental control that's tied directly into all the major frameworks is a great starting point to build a security stack or further a security stack that you already have in place for an end user customer. So what we've been able to do is develop a platform that allows them to very, very easily deploy application control and allow listing, but more importantly, to be able to manage it on an ongoing basis as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let's talk about how this works in conjunction with ConnectWise then, because we know that most of it, MSP has been stressing, ConnectWise for years has been saying work in the platform, because that's where all of your content, your data, everything is. So how do you guys jive up with that?
It's been a long time coming. We put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into the integration, but the integration is in place that allows our MSP partners to both deploy and manage all within ConnectWise Automate. So that's really the core of the product, and the two key functions that most MSPs are going to depend on. They never have to leave the Automate pane of glass to be able to accomplish that. We can get into some reporting and some other features that are part of the portal exclusively, but the integration is really where the meat is.
Awesome. That's important because, again, the single pane of glass concept is extremely important.
Always.
So if by using your product in conjunction with ConnectWise, I like to talk about efficiency and effectiveness a lot of times. So how does that help them to become like, do you guys have a quantifiable amount of time I save from working with you all and doing this, or how do you determine my success with this?
I think the success really is a couplefold. One, it's the added protection at the endpoint layer that you're putting in place that you're not typically going to get out of your traditional antivirus or even your EDR or XDR solutions that are typically more responsive. So it's that added protection. But I'm encouraging a lot of our MSPs to look at it more strategically, that having a control like this in place furthers the cause to be able to go to an end user and say, let's talk about some of these cybersecurity tax incentives that are coming down the road. Let's talk about some of this liability protection legislation that's being put in place. Let's talk about driving your cybersecurity insurance premiums down potentially. If we get controls like application allow listing put in place for you, we can take you closer and closer to possibly qualifying for a better cybersecurity insurance policy or getting a tax credit based on your investments that are tied directly to any of the major frameworks. So, that's where the profitability, that's where the differentiation really comes in place when you're talking about this kind of technology.
You almost opened a bag of lots of conversation, like a Pandora's box. Cyber insurance is a whole different, that could be a 2-day topic, honestly. But you're essentially saying that what you guys have the ability to do is, one thing is you're helping on the front end with the end users, client facing with them, being able to be at the point of contact almost, right? Because you're more proactive and even reactive. But then all this is contributing to the MSPs and cyber insurance as well, which is now the big topic.
Absolutely. There's no shortage of MSPs that are out there selling based on fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Oh, yeah.
What we really try to enable our partners to do is to walk in and have a more strategic cybersecurity kind of conversation, and not necessarily even lead with their solution, but lead that potential customer to their solution by having strategic conversations like insurance. What can we do to further your cause there, or get you some liability protection if we get you more closely aligned with one of the frameworks? And why don't we take the initial step of getting the fundamentals taken care of, like application control? We can connect all those dots pretty easily.
Awesome. I think that's an important piece here. One thing that's been the underlying tone of the space at large, especially with cybersecurity, is how to actually discuss it with clients without scaring them off and sounding like you don't know what you're talking about, or making it over cumbersome, which happens often.
Oh yeah.
But then at the end, being effective with whatever it is you're going to talk about and deliver it.
You got it.
So it sounds like you guys actually cover all aspects of that.
We really do. Strong. We really do. And that's where we try to really deepen that relationship with our partners, is to understand how they're attempting to go to market, who they're attempting to talk to, and then help them connect those dots and have the conversation at the right level. Far too many MSPs are walking in the door wanting to talk about speeds and feeds still. What can we do to help them adapt and overcome there?
I love that we stopped talking about speeds and feeds, because I mean, it's an important conversation at some point within certain rooms, but very limited rooms at this point. It's now more about how to make the business effective and be safe.
You got it.
The total welfare of the entire business and every business that is underneath them.
Right.
So this is it for us. And you will actually, we'll talk about you're at booth. What booth are you guys at?
416? We're at 416.
Yes. And you'll be there?
I will definitely be there. We've got a team that's coming in from all different parts of the country. We're doing some cool stuff with Jenga. I don't know if we have any skilled Jenga fans out there, but we'll have a Jenga game with prizes, cash prizes, and otherwise tied to the game. I would encourage people to come play that before they hit the open bar during the cocktail hour, Monday night. But definitely stop by the booth for that. And this is the big thing, the big reason to stop by. Tuesday evening, after all the social stuff wraps up with the House of Blues event, we're doing an after hours event where we're going to even shuttle people from the House of Blues to a super secret location that requires a password for entry. If that at least makes you curious, stop by the booth and we can give you all the details. There's a very limited number of people we can take with us, but we will even provide the transportation.
Oh, I'm so curious. Yes. Okay. And you're actually doing a promo with this for the event, aside from all this cool stuff you just mentioned.
Yeah.
So $25 Amazon gift card.
$25 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a trial and pull down the plugin. If you do it before the end of June, we'll make it $50. That's just simply for giving it a spin. If you've got other allow listing solutions in place, what we really want you to do is to be able to compare and contrast. I think you'll see the efficiencies and, more importantly, the profitability that we can bring that others aren't going to.
That's awesome. I totally appreciate that. Thank you, Corey. Thanks for spending time with me today. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. I hope my name's on the list for the super secret place.
We'll do an Irish whiskey taste test if you come along, Sean.
Dude, I'm in. Don't twist my arm. No, ow. Yes, I will. It's perfect.
Cool.
Thank you again, Corey, for being on with us. I look forward to seeing you in a few days, man.
Thanks. We'll see you there.
Jess, if you want to move Corey, and I'll wrap this up. All right. So that was our first episode of meeting all of our certified integrators, which, by the way, I didn't really clarify what the importance of these guys are. So I will right now by letting you know that the reason why they are this is because they went through all the things that we require them to do to become certified integrators. So a very specific set of criteria was met. And they integrate with us, which makes it kind of easier for you all. However, for those of you who watched, I appreciate you watching. Look forward to seeing you guys all next week. I fly in Sunday night. Again, Angel's Envy, rum cask, or a really good scotch. I'm not partial. I'm impartial. But hey, looking forward to seeing you all then. And thank you all for tuning in. See you at Secure in several days. Bye now. Or just like